Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of Dish and Switch. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Kelsey Zarko. I'm a Young Living executive, and I'm also a wife, a mom to an 18-month-old little girl, and a second grade teacher, and also a huge coffee and book lover. So that's a little bit about me. This week, we're really going to dive in and talk about some of those nooks and crannies in our homes, some of those miscellaneous items, and maybe some things we just don't first think of when we first talk about cleaning. But before we jump into some of that, I do just want to spend some time talking about that word, cleaning. It's something we all have to do. Some of us like it more than others. But if you're anything like me, it can just become something that's really hard to fit into my week or my schedule or just my current stage of life, and can quite honestly become kind of a little bit overwhelming and a little bit of a burden. So what I want to spend some time talking about is just how can we take this idea of cleaning and really simplify it. We've been talking a lot about simplifying lately, and just make it a simple process that we can do and accomplish, and then still have time in our day and our lives for things that really spark joy for us. This really starts with just creating a simple routine, and this can look different for everyone. Like we've talked about in the past few weeks, what works for somebody might not work for another person, and it's really just all about making it your own and making it work for you. I'm really going to talk about two different types of schedules that can sometimes happen. There's really two schools of thought on this. One is to create a cleaning schedule that really just focuses on one day of the week being when you do all your cleaning. My mom was totally like this. I remember as a kid on Saturdays waking up, and we knew we could hear her already started. That was our day to get busy with our chores and do all of our cleaning, and we spent a good portion of the day doing that, but then it was done. The other school of thought is to pick chunks of your chores or make it into little portions throughout your week to fit on different days. So maybe you do all of your dusting one day, all of your vacuuming another day, or you do one room one day, then another room the next day. So personally, I found this to work better for me at my stage of life and in our current schedule. So I'm just going to share a few things that have been really helpful for me, really practical, and see if maybe you could find some place for this or be helpful to you as well. For me, for example, Wednesdays are my bathroom days. So when I get off work, after I pick up my daughter and come home, I literally set my bags on the floor and walk straight to the bathrooms. I don't do anything else first. And I just get out all my supplies that I need. There's not very many now that I've simplified. And I just wipe them down, get them clean, mop the floors, empty the garbage, all that good stuff. I have 2 bathrooms in my house right now, and I can honestly say it takes me 20 minutes. When I just really focus and hone in on exactly what I'm wanting to accomplish, it really doesn't take very long. I'm not getting distracted by, oh, I just put my sheets away, now I want to clean out that closet, or doing the same thing with a cabinet. I just hone in, focus in, and it's been really effective. I also have chosen Friday night is my dusting night. I know, wild Friday night. But however that fits into our day that day, I'll just make sure before I go to bed that everything's dusted, and that way when I wake up Saturday morning, I can just quickly vacuum everything in our house, and that's done. So those are some ways that I've split my cleaning into different days of the week. Now, it's really all about looking at your schedule, seeing when you can maximize some of those times that you're home, when you might have a free moment, and just staying focused on the way you can seize that moment. It is really incredible what you can do when you very intentionally hone in and focus in on something and don't let anything else distract you until that task is completed. And I've found that to be helpful in multiple areas of my life. I also incorporate my laundry into this routine. So since Wednesdays are bathroom days for me cleaning wise, then I've made that the day I wash all my towels. It just works for me since my towels are in my bathroom. So I just make sure that those go in and they're done, and I know that every single week my towels are getting cleaned. It's just a rotating routine that works well for me. So speaking of laundry, laundry. Anybody else always have a pile of laundry? Feel like you might be drowning in it? So are you a big, one day is a big laundry day person, or do you like to split yours out over the week? I wanted to share actually a little tip that our friend Kimber, back from week 2 of nutrition, talked about that I thought was really helpful and just seems so simple. She just does a load of laundry a day, and she just keeps doing 1 load a day until it's done, and then she starts over. So she really maximizes her transition times. She puts a load in when she wakes up, and then while she's making, right before she makes lunch for her kids, she switches it to the dryer. And then when she puts them down for a nap, she gets it out of the dryer, folds it, puts it away, and it's done. I found that even though I work outside the home right now, I can do this at night. It works pretty simply. So when I get home, I'll put my load in. After I clean up dinner, I'll switch it over to the dryer, and then after I put my daughter to bed, I'll just pull it out, fold it, put it away, and it's done, and it's off my shoulders. It's really just looking at your transition times and maximizing when it makes sense for you to do that, but then it's not such an overwhelming task. So really choosing a cleaning or laundry routine that fits in your life and makes sense in your season and in your circumstances is key. We know that not everything works for everyone, so it's all about looking at what the options are, getting some ideas, and then really focusing it in to fit your lifestyle. I am going to post some cleaning schedules in the comments below, just as examples. I know it's sometimes helpful for me to just see somewhere I can start and jump off from there and tweak it to fit mine. But give those a look and see if something might spark an idea or give you a new idea that might help alleviate some of that burden and make it just something that's really simple so that you have room for other areas of joy in your life. But let's talk about all these routines and cleaning. Sometimes in the midst of our cleaning schedules, how helpful are the products that we're really using? Things we often think of as helpful and being cleaning to our home are actually creating a toxic environment. I know that Hannah talked in the first week about how the air inside our home is actually more toxic than the air outside, and that's because of what we're using in our homes and what's going into the air. So specifically, let's talk about laundry. My laundry room is just actually part of my bathroom. It's a little closet, and so there's not a lot of like window space or air movement. So anything happening in my laundry room, it's really staying and circulating in my air. And there can be a lot of harmful things happening with doing this laundry. So I want to talk to you about a little bit of research I've done and a little bit about some ingredients to look for in our products. But I want you to know that I did not memorize this. I've done a lot of research over the last few months, but the words are sometimes kind of big. And so I've just written them down. So if I'm reading them off of a paper, I just want to make sure you get the most accurate information, and that's why. So talking about my dryer in my laundry room. Research has shown that dryer vents emit 7 substances that are identified as hazardous air pollutants. So things coming out of our dryer are polluting our air. And this is because of the ingredients in our detergents, in our dryer sheets, in our stain removers, in our fabric softeners. It's all just mixing up and coming out. So here's some things to look for when you're looking at the ingredients in those products in your laundry room. Remember that word fragrance. It can mean a lot of things besides just something that smells good. There isn't really a lot of labeling regulation in the US, and so companies can write the word fragrance and it can mean up to 300 different chemicals. Remember that there's been over 1,000 chemicals banned in other countries, but here in the US, it's barely in the single digits, like 11 have been banned. So look out for that word fragrance because it can mean a bunch of different chemicals that are hazardous to your body and your health, and you're just breathing them in through that air. There's over 17 other ingredients that can contribute to things like skin irritations and as much as neurological damage. And those things don't have to be labeled on the backs of boxes or bottles. One of the most serious unlabeled offenders to read about is 1,4-dioxane, which is a known carcinogen. Listen to what it's been linked to. Brain toxicity, impairment of the nervous system, liver disease, kidney disease, respiratory failure, immune malfunction, and hormone disruption. That one really bothers me. In our dryer sheets, some ingredients you might see are benzyl acetate, it's been linked to pancreatic cancer, benzyl alcohol, which is an upper respiratory tract irritant, and then even ethanol, which is linked to a central nervous system disorder. So, really dangerous. A lot of what's going on in our laundry room is really, it might be getting our clothes clean, but is it really worth it for those other side effects? But don't worry, we're going to talk about some ways we can still get our clothes amazingly clean and be safe for our health in our homes. So, not to worry. Now, let's talk about a couple other things in our homes that we use for just miscellaneous cleaning, like disinfectant wipes. There's a difference when you're cleaning to remove germs from a surface and then the way disinfecting wipes work, which is to kill those germs using antimicrobial pesticides. See, this is why I wrote it down. Basically, those chemicals that kill those germs also can trigger asthma, allergies, and other health concerns. And there's just a lot of respiratory disarray and concern that can come from these. And guys, I teach 2nd grade. These are on our school supply list. We use them every day. Really concerning. there's some other ways we can use a cleaning wipe that is much more beneficial to our health that we're going to talk about. And then also another thing on our school supply list, hand sanitizers. Research has shown that an ingredient in sanitizers called triclosan can disrupt the endocrine system, can maximize and amplify testosterone, and just really mess with those levels inside of our bodies. There also can be things like parabens, which I know Kelsey talked about last week. And then again, fragrance, you know, the cutesy little girly hand sanitizers you can buy in different scents. Those scents are really just those chemicals that are labeled as fragrance. So parabens and fragrance, we've already talked about those. We know those are bad news bears. We don't want them around. And then another thing in our homes that we often don't think about are our air fresheners and our candles. Now, guys, I love me some candles and I love me some smelling good around my house, but there's a way to do this that's safer than others. I want you to grab your phone and just look up the app Think Dirty. It is a free app. You can download it and scan your air fresheners. Guys, when I did this, mine came up at a 9 on a scale of 10, 10 being the most dangerous. And that's because what's in that can is just a bunch of chemicals labeled as fragrance that's really dangerous to us inhaling it. One of the things that can be is formaldehyde, and it's listed as a human carcinogen because it causes cancer of the nose, throat, and blood. No thank you. It can really emit a lot of dangerous things into the air, even candles, formaldehyde again, a lot of other big words, and just plain old soot, which can penetrate deep into our lung tissue and be really hurtful and harmful to our respiratory system. So the things that might seem convenient to make our house smell good really can be hazardous to our health and just dangerous altogether. But there's going to be some other options that we're going to talk about this week because we know we're really focusing on just ditching those harmful products and switching to things that are going to be just as effective, just as convenient, but way healthier and less harmful to our homes. So we're going to talk about some DIY recipes this week, but I know that some of you are not big DIYers, and even if you do like it, I love to DIY, but I don't always have time at this stage of my life. So I am going to talk about a few of the products Young Living offers that just makes this super convenient and easy. One of those is the Thieves Laundry Soap. It's super effective. You don't need very much. It goes a long way, and it's plant-based, safe, none of those gross ingredients back here. It's all natural. Again, we're going to talk about our awesome Thieves household cleaner and how this can even help with some stains in your laundry room. And then Thieves dish soap. Love this stuff. I think Hannah might have talked about it in week 1, but you need this in your kitchen. It even says on the label, free from a lot of those dyes, formaldehyde, phosphates, synthetic perfume, some of those gross fragrances. Nothing in here. It's all good stuff. And I'm going to show you how you can use this to make some disinfectant wipes that are safe that you can have on hand. And then finally, I really want to share with you about this amazing diffuser that you can get from Young Living too. It's made from hospital grade plastic, so it's a little different than a lot of those diffusers out there. It's not going to be breaking down and sending chemicals into the air. Basically, you use water and essential oils in here. It comes up, you can see how things are coming out, and not only does it clean and purify your air, make things smell good just like candles, but you're also receiving those health benefits from the oils that you've put in. So huge must-have on my list of things in my home. It's a great thing to have around. Love it. And then we're going to be talking about a few recipes from the Chemical Free Home book too. So awesome thing to have on hand. Basically, guys, we are just going to spend this week talking about how to ditch those gross stuff, switch to things that are beneficial. And guys, that's what I love, is that they're beneficial, meaning we're not just getting rid of something bad and replacing it with something safe. We're replacing our products with things that are actually beneficial to our health. It's helping our immune system. It's helping our body systems. It's helping us stay healthy. So it's not only safe, but it's adding another level where it's helping our body function even better. Can't beat that. I love it. So I'm also going to spend some time this week talking about how to make sure that we are sending this lifestyle on to our family and friends and our kids. I don't think there's anything better than sending on a way to be an educated consumer and to really know what we're looking for in products. So I'm going to be sharing some ideas for our families and kiddos as well. So stay tuned. We're going to have a great week. I can't wait to learn along with you.